All that doubt pushing through, go ahead, ride the waves that you feel. In time you'll return to what's real. I know you'll come back to your heart, to all that you are, to all that you are. Take a good look around and sink your feet in the ground. Let the earth embrace you, the air caress you and take you. Hear it whisper a sweet, sweet song, reminding you that you belong. Oh, come back to your heart, to all that you are, to all that you are, all that you to your heart, to all that you are, 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 to all that you are.
Thank you, Lori, Eric, thank you. We are so grateful for the beauty of the music that you bring. What a gift. Come back to your heart. We welcome you this evening. It is New Year's Eve, and as we gather, I just want to say, last year there was no one in this space. And I am so grateful. In fact, we taped the service early, and it was the first time in my adult life that I hadn't been in a place where we were gathering to let go and to take on something larger. And so just all of us in this space and everyone online, we're so grateful to recognize that consciousness moves around this planet. There's no limit with consciousness. And so when we say come back to our hearts, if by any chance you have had any stress in 2021 and you've gotten out of your heart space at all, just remember, we can come back to the truth of who we are, every one of us, creations of the infinite, created as whole infinite beings, part of humanity here to be a part of the healing of this planet. And so as we gather, and in just a moment we're going to begin in prayer, but just coming back to that space and knowing that our refuge, our place of anchoring, our place of the truth of who we are is that heart space. I'm Reverend Lisa Davis. I'm here as minister here at Unity Spiritual Center of Portland, and I believe that we are all a large family of humanity, of consciousness, and that what we're called to do right now is to both let go of anything that we don't want to bring into this next year, but also to take on the truth of who we are. So let's begin this service in prayer. We just open our hearts. Mother, Father God, infinite Spirit, we open, knowing that we live and move and have our being within the presence of infinite intelligence. Life, divine life, moves through us, it moves around us. All of us are connected as one in this field of energy, pure love, pure life. And wherever we've been, whatever we've held in our minds and allowed our narrative to be, we loose that and let that go this evening. And we surround this globe, every being everywhere who's asking, who am I? What do I do? Where do I go? Those in Colorado, those who have lost a loved one, those everywhere. We recognize we live and move and have our being within the same field of love. And tonight we allow that love to hold us, to love through us. And we step into the yes. Yes, Infinite Spirit, I am here, ready, willing, and able to allow my light to shine. For this opportunity to gather together, we say thank you, Infinite Spirit. And so it is. Amen. And we are thrilled to have you with us. Now, if you're new here, you don't get homework at every service, but right now that's kind of what you got. And Rune Lazuli said something. He said, inside the chaos, build a temple of love. And so if you wonder what's happening in your world or what you do, I think we start with that idea of wherever there's chaos, build a temple of love. Build a temple of possibility. Build a temple of just standing in a knowing that there's something more than we may even understand right now. This is our annual Burning Bowls service, so we will actually come up and we will be letting go of things. You got this whole packet when you came in, and if you wondered what the board was, we used to keep our songbooks our hymnals, just so you could bear down on them. And we finally said, no, we can let those go since they were so outdated, and we now have these boards that we use right now once a year. So we're going to be doing some writing. It's a 2-part service. And what I have always understood New Year's to be is a threshold. We have the choice at a threshold to say, how do I walk through this door? How do I go to this next place, to this next part of my life? And we can do it consciously, mindfully, and say, I'm willing to step through that threshold, but I get to do it on my terms, and I get to decide how I allow myself to show up. So, I'm not saying 2021 was an easy year in any way, shape, or form. I do know for myself and for all of us that somehow we've said yes to being here. We've made a soul commitment to be here. And so, this is the perfect time to let go what we need to. If there's stuff you need to forgive, if there's stuff you need to release, sometimes we've built a life on holding on to stories that no longer serve us. And that's what we get to look at later. Myrtle Fillmore, one of the co-founders of Unity, and Unity's, I don't know how old it is, 125, I'm going to say, years old. But she said, Unity's mission in our world is to help people release fears and hurts that bind and confine us, that we may experience and express the love that we are. That's really what it began as. It's just this prayer ministry to do just that. And so we're starting out with, we're going to be doing actually, and I'm going to explain it right now. I will do that. You've got all these nice papers we will be using, and you don't have to take it out right now. I'll explain it to you, but I just want to go through it so you're not wondering what in the world I'm doing. There is a blank piece of paper because we're going to do some journaling. Before we write what there is to be released, and this is where we do it a little differently, we are going to do some journaling. Just to look at it, to say, how was this year? What did it show up like? What did it feel like in me? And we will actually then, this tracing paper is what we'll write on, and we will burn that in a little bit and just allowing that to leave. Then we'll begin opening up to Spirit, what would you have me know? What would you have me do? Because as we move through a threshold, and Lynn McTaggart, her work on the intention experiment and what happens when we begin to hold spaces, what happens in the very, the quantum physics shows that the belief of the observer, and we are all the observers of our lives, the narrative that we place out there tells the universe how to respond. And this universe always responds to us. So we're going to open up, and then we will actually write, it says sacred intentions, and we'll put it in an envelope, and you'll get it back next November. A few people did bring theirs in. Did anybody in here? I got mine back. Anybody else bring them back? Most people just kept them, and hopefully you could find them by November. But we'll pray with them. They'll be up in my office, and you will get them in the mail early next November. So just know that we get to be willing to open to a larger story. Okay, I want to share with you just a couple things that are happening as we move forward. We're doing our regular service January 2nd. And then on January 9th, we changed it because there was supposed to be snow. Well, of course, that's changed many times since then. But so January 2nd at 11 o'clock, we'll do our regular service. January 9th, we will do our white stone ceremony where you actually get a stone from the Holy Land. And we will be doing another meditative process of just saying, Spirit, who am I? And so I just invite you to be a part of any of those. And if you're here for the first time, we just want you to know that we welcome you. We're happy to have you here. At Unity Spiritual Center of Portland, we honor all paths to God, and we honor all of us where we are on this path. Because the more we get to know people, the more we realize we're all walking this journey together. If this community works for you, we encourage you to be a part of that, because right now it's so important for us to find a place that both anchors us and I believe moves us forward, allows us to really look at our life and say, how is this going? What do I need to look at? Where am I moving? Unity does not have dogma that tells you what to believe. That's not what we're working to do. And so it's just simply up to you. If this does not work for you, we would encourage that you continue seeking. Find some place that will say, come on, there is life, there is love, there is presence, and you are a part of it. So we're happy to have you here. We are going to listen to you now. And so, yeah, this is a different order of service, and we're working through it also. That's why I went down there to get it, because I want to make sure I actually know what it is. Thank you.
So many years, so many seasons, following many a muse. Every venture coming and going as I'm pulled toward deeper truth. The hurting, the crying, the stumbling and trying, all part of a greater good. And what falls away brings me closer to what I'm meant to be. What falls away is lifting me higher, up where I can see. With a kiss goodbye, I let go of all the tattered pieces, and what falls away reveals the essence of me. Every step now, every decision is rooted by Spirit in me. Embracing this path now, ever more fully, drawing to it what I need. And what falls away brings me closer to what I'm meant to be. What falls away is lifting me higher, up where I can see. With a kiss goodbye, I let go of all the tattered pieces, and what falls away reveals the essence. It's the essence of me. The essence of me. stumbling and trying. It's all part of a greater good. And what falls away brings me closer to what I'm meant to be. What falls away is lifting me higher, up where I can see. With a kiss goodbye, I let go of all those pieces. And what falls away reveals the essence, the sweet, sweet essence of me. The essence of me. Let the rest fall away to the essence, to the essence, oh, the essence.
Wow, wow, wow. What falls away reveals the essence of me. I kind of think that might be not just the theme for tonight, but the theme for this time in history. What falls away, we're being asked to let go of parts of ourselves, some of it we don't even realize. Lynn McTaggart says that this time in history is a required falling away of the outdated ideas and systems and ways that we have lived that are not sustainable. They do not honor all of humanity, and they are not what will allow us to create a world where we do live in peace and where every being knows their heart and their soul. And while this time right now we're going to move into focusing on ourselves, recognize we were raised within these pieces and these ideas. And so we're being asked, if nothing else, to allow what's known to fall away. Because even if it didn't work, it was what we knew. And so the idea now, in just a moment, we're going to go into a meditation, but if you'll get your board and the white piece of paper out, and there's a pen in the back of the seat in front of you, and if it's not right in front of you, look at your neighbors, and just keep going down till you'll find one if you don't have one. And if you need one, just raise your hand, and we'll be sure you get one. But we're gonna. So first of all, does everybody have pens and paper? Go ahead and get that. If you don't, Beth will get you one. And then we're going to go into a meditation in a moment, but to just begin realizing and remembering that sometimes all that happens in our world, we don't recognize there's a larger plan under it, that some of it's individual ways we can heal as an individual and what falls away from our old narrative and our old, because I don't know about you, but I know, and I find every day, I have some systems in my life that aren't working. And usually my 20-year-old can point them out really quickly, really, really quickly. And I'm sure you have people in your life, our significant others, our spouses, our kids, that we know each other so well. And then we have this collective layer, and now we have a global layer. And so it's just this opportunity to allow this movement to happen, and we're all a part of it. And so we're going to do some journaling in a moment. We're going to do a meditation, just a short meditation as we just open, and then we're going to do some journaling. And just about 10 minutes of just, what has this year been like? And then we'll shift over and move into getting the tracing paper and write on there. And it's so important, this idea of writing things. I don't know if you're aware of just how important that is in our lives, whether it's intentions we want to hold, but also the willingness to let go. I am willing to let go. Sometimes I start my whole forgiveness practice. Charles Fillmore had this one of just simply, he said it would cure every ill in your life. You sit down before you go to bed every night for about a half an hour and just say, I forgive. And I did this for years. And I was amazed at what came up and what happened. And there's still times when I just find myself getting out of bed and saying, can't sleep? Let's sit down here. And I just begin with this, and I think there's nothing. And after a while, all these layers of what's asking to fall away come up. And when I can write some of it and just say, wow, this has been happening. Wow, I didn't know it. I've been stuffing this. Have you ever tried to keep a beach ball under the water? That's the same, it takes the same amount of energy to do that as it does to keep old ideas or unforgiveness or places we've allowed ourselves to believe we're less than whole, to keep them under the surface. So we're going to start now, I guess, we're moving into this area of I just invite you to relax. You can have your board on your lap, and we're just going to spend a couple minutes in meditation and focusing, and then we'll go into this journaling, and I'll ask some questions. So will you just play? Thank you, Eric. And I just invite you for this small time period to close your eyes and to just breathe in. Here we are, New Year's Eve 2021. And what a year it's been. What a day, what a week, what a month. So much movement. And so let's begin by just relaxing our bodies. And just keeping the pen close to us for anything you're guided to write down. But just allowing our mind to get quiet and just simply sitting with this time period. If your mind gets distracted, just calling it back, focusing on the sacred cycle of the breath. Breathing in, breathing out. Life flowing through each of us. Our individual life. 2021, a year of movement. As we continue just breathing, we feel the tension move away. We let it go. We release it from our bodies. We don't have to direct our consciousness or our thought. We just simply sit and relax. And we bring our attention to this now moment. Whatever the time period has been for you, this now moment may be the last year, it could be the last 5 years, it could be the last 2 weeks, but it's a period of time. And right now we look at this year, 2021, all of the meaningful happenings, all of the things that have gone on in our individual lives and in our collective lives. And we just begin with this question: what have been some of the things that have taken up your thought space, your attention during this past year, this past space of time? If you think of anything, what are the characteristics of this time period? Has it been easy? Has it been stressful? Just beginning to write down what comes to mind. Just making notes of what moves through your thoughts. What does this past year looked like, felt like? Were there feelings that came again and again? Whether you're in this space or at home, it's just allowing ourselves to write and to think, what have been these characteristics, these feelings of this time? And now let us become still once again, stilling our thoughts, closing our eyes for a moment, breathing deeply, and once again feeling the movement of our lives in 2021. Or quietly bring ourselves into harmony with the continuity of our life experience, with this movement that happens throughout all the years of our lives. We don't think our life. We feel it. We become aware of this movement. And we feel the quality of our lives. Our thoughts and our feelings flow gently, ever so gently. And as we sit in the stillness, we just think of the events, special events that happened this year. Did you begin a job, end a job, begin a relationship, move from one? Perhaps they were a positive nature. Perhaps they were tough. But just simply to be aware and to write down what were the significant, the special events, the events of this time period, of this past year. And when you're done writing these events of this time, of this year, I invite you just to quiet yourself and turn within once again, focusing on your breath. Just opening to this year. The frustrations, the joys, the pieces. And if you've written the major events that happened this year, I invite you to think about the relationships with people in your life, the important people in your journey. Were they satisfying, fulfilling relationships? Or were they difficult? It doesn't matter what they were. What's important is that they were meaningful to you, and we can gather the learning from them. So I just invite you to write about your relationships in 2021 with the people in your world. And take some time to think about the relationship with yourself. How was that relationship? How is that relationship in 2021? And continuing to breathe, to be with all of the feelings, all that comes up. I invite you to make a list of the adjectives describing your feelings. I felt secure. I felt afraid or worried. I felt loved or lonely, frustrated, free. What were the adjectives, the describers during this time? we're just going to finish up writing a few more things. We won't be burning this paper. We'll take it with us. You can fold it up and place it in a sacred book, or you can leave it here if you'd like and just discard it. I always was told, place it in your Bible and just know that it is doing all the work it needs to do. But just beginning to finish with our contemplation of this time. And whenever you're ready, I'd invite you to take out that piece of tracing paper. Because in order to cross a threshold and to be the change we desire to know and to be, to experience, we have to be willing and ready to let go of parts that have bound us. And so to just take that tracing paper out and write on it whatever you're ready to let go of, a tendency, a feeling, a resentment, a difficulty with a person or an organization or a world, whatever you're ready to let go of.
I am free in my soul. I let go. I am free, free in my soul. I am free in my soul.
free in my soul. In just a moment, we're going to ask you to come up, and we have these two bowls, and they've seen a lot of burning over their lifetime. And we have two people can actually come up at the same time. We'll release you from the back, and you can come up front here, just light it there, put it in there, and then go on around. And so you'll come through this way and then go on out the outer aisles. And you don't have to, what's fascinating and wonderful is when we release something, we don't have to watch it till it's gone. So you don't have to stand there and make sure it's gone. We have to trust the universe that which we let go of moves away. And if you're at home, please don't feel you need to burn a candle and burn something in your house. I'd really rather not be responsible for any house fires this year. But instead, what I've done many, many years, is tear it all up and put it in there. And honestly, we flushed it down the toilet and found out that wasn't a very good idea. So I'd suggest putting it in your trash can and letting it go. The idea is it's a ritual, and it's a whole body ritual. And as we're in line, we're going to be hearing Lori, but I'd invite you to join in with her on this, because this idea of I let go and the idea that all is well with our soul, that this essence of who we are is very, very capable of letting go. I probably just said the wrong word. So can you, wait a minute, I wrote it down. I am free in my soul. That is what we're here to do, is to claim our freedom from that which has bound us. So the ushers will release you by rows, and we can come on up and just recognize this is a letting go and letting God. And we do it together with that combined consciousness. So we are going, thank you.
I am free, free in my soul. I let go. I am free, free in my soul. I let go. I am free, free in my soul. I let go. I am free in my soul. I let go. I am free in my soul. Oh, I let go. I am free in my soul. I let go. I am free in my soul.
I let go. I am free in my soul. Just saying that and taking that in is such an important idea. I let go. I am free in my soul.
Been weighed down by thoughts and words and circumstance. It's time to ask my soul to dance. Let go of all those heavy things. Step aside and let my soul sing. Fly, oh fly. The freshest air lifting me feels so alive. Fly, oh fly, powered by the sun inside and on high. Oh, fly. No more pushing, no more chase. Be free, my spirit, do your thing, do your thing. I'll step aside and let you sing. Fly, oh fly. The freshest air lifting me feels so light. Fly, oh fly. Powered by the sun inside and on high. Oh, fly. When I doubt, when I'm afraid, I'll have to trust the path is made and listen every day to hear that call. Oh, rise above my mind's walls. Oh, fly, oh, fly. The freshest air lifting me feels so alive. Fly, oh fly, powered by the sun inside. Oh fly, oh, stretch my wings and fly.
Wow. Thank you, thank you. That is so beautiful. That is one of Lori's new songs. All of these songs have been written by Lori and Eric. I know you both. This is just such beautiful music. What more can we say? There's something in our soul calling us to do that. So beautiful. Thank you. And I don't know about you all, but I feel like she had my story. We have this inner urge that says there's something more. And we can get really frustrated with our day when it looks like, for me, sometimes it's like, okay, there's laundry, there's another mess, there's this happened and that happened. And it's like, wait a minute, where is the love and the life and the presence and the spirit? And we get to realize that life teaches us. It is inviting us to fly, but often we've thought that was, how many goals out here have I met? How much do I have? How much have I known? What is the success? What's this? What's that? And of course, what we're learning as humanity is that this call of spirit that does move, it moves through our very souls and our hearts. It is calling us in a way that we may not have even realized before. And I've always heard this statement, divine discontent. When there's discontent, it's a divine nudge or push or sometimes drag that says, oh yeah? You think you're going to stay right as you are and that you're just going to survive through life? Life is asking us to allow things to fall away and to open to greater ideas and more things. You know, a week ago, we were here for our Christmas Eve service. Many of you were. I know there was snow and things. Thank you, Rick. Thank you for bringing that down. But we had that service and we were celebrating this new birth, this idea. And of course, Christmas is, for those of you who have worked with the story, you recognize just as many of the sacred stories like Hanukkah and others are, they are the story of a people. And all the parts include, and this is Carl Jung talks about this with the archetypes, all the parts include the parts of ourselves. So you have a Joseph and a Mary, and this baby is born, and you move from Nazareth to Bethlehem, and this whole story. We talked about it. And that is the significance of the birth. Then we move into this new year, and it's like, okay, so how do we allow this birth to happen? You know, Howard Thurman said, when the song of the angels is stilled, when the star in the sky is gone, when the kings and princes are home, when the shepherds are back with their flock, the work of Christmas begins. To find the lost, to heal the broken, to feed the hungry, to release the prisoner, to rebuild the nations, to bring peace among others, to make music in the heart. And he was Martin Luther King's minister among thousands and thousands others because he was a leader of leaders. But he saw a different view in the world of what we were really here to do. And a lot of times it's like, oh God, Christmas is over. Let's just get the decorations away. Let's get the stuff away. And okay, we've got a new year. All the time to start over. What I believe is that this call that we have to fly is one that is there saying, you're a part of this movement of humanity. And there's both things we get to learn and to heal individually, and then collectively and globally. But there's also spaces we get to hold for beauty and joy and love in our lives. And if we think, anybody been on survival mode? It's the pandemic, can we just get through it? And then life will start again. What if this time is the birthing time? And it is a time for a lot of stuff to fall away. But we have a lot of time to hold a space for a life and a being, ourselves, that finds deeper meaning, that finds something more in ourselves, that finds patience, wisdom, ideas. You know, Desmond Tutu said, life is more than breath and a heartbeat. That means it's not survival. Meaning and purpose are the life of life. And I believe that divine discontent and all these movements that happen in us are calling us to recognize we're part of a larger humanity. Our old way of science says we're all separate little beings and there's all these separate things all over the planet, and we know that's not true. We are all connected. And so as we begin, we're moving into this time of beginning to say, Spirit, what would you have me hold? And it may just be having the life in you to say, wait a minute, my life has purpose, it has meaning, and I set the intention for this and this and this. And a long time ago, I found that my intentions moved from things, there's still things in there, but the majority of them went to qualities and ideas and places that I want to live from and that I could understand more. And so I just invite you to start saying, what's my part in this plan? If it really is a falling away of these systems, not one of us here, at home, anywhere, is a mistake or was born by chance or is in this place at this time. Instead, Desmond Tutu, and I'm still using a lot of his pieces, he said, do your little bit of good where you are. It's those little bits of good put together that overwhelm the world. And I say, recreate the world. It's our little pieces, believing that we can create peace in this space, that we can find peace in our hearts, that we can be employed someplace that, being well paid for doing what we love. But to hold a space, if that's something you're looking at, that we can heal relationships, that we can take the parts of ourselves that may not have believed in ourselves, and we can heal that part. And when we do, life changes. I often have worked with intentions, and I know many of you have. Intentions are so important in our lives. And I talk a lot about John Goddard. I do every year. I usually... I look at it a couple times during the year because in a class years ago called 4T, which is tithing of your time, talents, and treasure, they talked about him. And I did all this research. And this guy, at the age of 15 and with a dysfunctional family where he spent most of his time in the attic, often with a locked door, not able to do what he wanted to do or anything close to it, and often not having food. For some reason, this kid said, I wonder what I could dream. I wonder what I could think. And he wrote down the 127, he called them goals at that time. He wrote them down, and he read them over and over and over again. And that was in 1940, by the way. It was a long time. There is material, and you can get them. And at one point, I looked at every single one of them. And he accomplished, I have it down here somewhere, he accomplished all but I think 13 of them. And one of them I know was climbing Mount Everest. And another was, some of them were just these huge things, speaking 4 languages, doing, which he got, it was like, he thought, what could my world be? And what quantum physics shows us is when we begin to expand our mind, and I think sometimes we have to take, okay, my mind is right here. I don't know about your alls, but sometimes my mind gets really small. It's a pandemic. Boy, grocery store shopping can be exciting. Sometimes that's like the place you get to go out. Or it can be a fear, either one. But whatever it is, it's like, wow. But what would happen if we began to hold sacred space for things that we are willing to believe in and to ignite in our lives? I know that for me, doing many, many, many of these services, I would get my letters back. And one specific time, I thought, nothing happened this year. And I did what my mother told me. I put it in my Bible, and I did it again. And at the 5th year, every single thing on every letter other than one of those happened. So it happens in its own timing. But I realized I had spent enough energy recreating the way I saw myself, the way I saw the world, the belief that God is the source, this quantum field, you can call it whatever you want, infinite intelligence. Every one of us is a part of a field that has all of the answers for humanity already in it. Now, we know that through meditation, we can connect with that through our hearts and our minds and opening to that. So it's already there. But I just invite you, if you've had a little place here, just to, just put your mind to work, your heart to work, and say, wait a minute. What would love look like? What would life look like? What would joy look like? What would that mean in my world? Even if I know some of you tonight have lost family members. You've lost life as you know it. Things have changed. And sometimes the first thing is just simply saying, what would it look like to be at peace? But I'd encourage you to say, what would it look like to experience joy? What would it look like? What would my life look like if I did this or this or this? And so we're just going to take some time and just recognize that there's always an opening, and you can start. There's what we're going to do, and is I'm going to invite you to write on this sacred intentions. Some of your intentions for this year. What are you open to? What are you willing to see? And then you can also address the envelope to yourself. We'll be collecting them in a little while if you're here. If you're at home, you're welcome to just put it in something and send it in, and we'll put it in an envelope and address it to you. You can keep it at home and get it out next year. It's up to you, but it's a wonderful opportunity to do this. So just start dreaming of what are those dreams. What are we willing to hold? Whenever you're done, you can address the envelope to yourself and put it in that envelope. We'll collect those in a little bit. You know, the idea of not using our energy to worry in the next year is one that I'd invite you to look at. Instead, using our energy to believe and to create and to heal and to grow. I find so often that I think it's my job to worry. Anybody thought they grew up with a job to worry? It doesn't actually create anything that we want, nor does it stop anything that we don't want. Instead, finding that relationship with ourselves built on trust that just says, who I am is enough to move through whatever is in my life journey. I'm enough right here for whatever's there. And I find that it has to become a practice. When Lori was singing this idea of I let go and being free with our souls, and our souls, that becomes an affirmation, or it can almost become a mantra that we say again and again and again. And what I'm going to invite you to do is, you have a little card. It's the only thing left probably. By the way, if you're done, will you pass your envelopes to the center aisle, and Beth will collect those. But I'd invite you to write 3 I am statements for this next year that you're willing to hold and to know for yourself. Because our worlds are created by our inner narrative. And I don't know about you, but it came to a point in my life where I said, if I don't change that narrative, my life won't ever change. And I literally began with my I ams. I am enough. And mine was, I am powerful, beautiful, and creative, and I can handle it. And I said that from the time I was, I think, 22 on. And my life didn't look like that. But that's what, it's like we get to build from that. And so if you happen to find yourself in worry, and believe me, it's easy to turn on the news and suddenly, or what's going to happen? What if this happens or that happens? What I find is that, first of all, trusting. I trust in God. I trust in the universe. I trust in enough. I trust in my journey. Every one of us is on a sacred journey. And I find that I have a lot of set ways of how that journey has to look and be and do. And the universe takes delight in showing me other ways that life can be and can know and can do. If anyone would have ever said I'd be up on this stage in Portland, Oregon, I would have laughed hilariously. And yet, it's one of the greatest gifts I've been given. And so just know, wherever we're called to be and whatever we're called to do, we may not see it, but it's always there. And what fascinates me is it uses everything else in our life up to that point and takes us to the next level. So tonight we've done some work. I realize we've done some letting go. And I would invite you not to take back any of those that you let go of, to actually let them go and to remind yourself of that. I let you go. Cancel this. I use a big O a lot of times. Oh, that's not something that I'm willing, I'm not going to hold it. I'm not going to give it any energy. And then to take on that which nurtures us, that we can create from, and that we can literally begin to hold. And I don't know about you, but I believe when each of us holds something more about ourselves, we can't help but hold it about all of humanity. And if we take on an idea of we're enough, we may not understand the journey. I can't tell you I like it, and I'd like some control over how it goes. But the truth is, I know we're all a part. And the greatest gift we can give each other is to reach out hands and to touch each other's lives. Because how spirit grows, how life grows, is where we gather and we say, hey, I hear you. You have something. I honor you. I see you. I hear you. And when we do that over and over again, the very energy of the field that we live in moves, and everything unlike it has to change its dance. So as we go through this next year, I just invite you to know that you're right where you are designed to be, and everything you need to be empowered, to heal, to love more than you've ever dreamed of loving is present, available, and ready at this moment. So I thank you for this part of the service. We're going to, we're almost done. So believe it or not, this used to be almost a 2-hour service, so you're really lucked out because there aren't near as many of us here and we didn't have to burn as much. But we are going to take a moment for we're not doing a love offering where you collect money, but we're offering you the opportunity. You can do it online. There are baskets at the back if you're in the building. If you're at your home, you can always go to the website. And also we have our what we call push pay, our automatic giving, where you can text Unity of Portland, and it's all lowercase, one word, to 833-814-3477. There it is. It shows up. Thank you, Leah. And so I just invite you to be a part of that. You can always send a check in, but just recognize that being a part of something larger, I feel like it's so important. The work that Unity does, that New Thought does to remind each of us we are whole, infinite creations of spirit, and we didn't come to know any less of ourselves. We came to be a part of the healing of humanity. So I'm going to say a blessing, and then I'd invite you to repeat it with me. And the blessing that we use is divine love. I believe that the energy of your heart and your soul is love, every one of us. Sometimes I have to dig pretty deep in there to find it, especially when none of the laundry got done in the last week that was supposed to, and all the other stuff that went on today. As we looked at a house, and I looked at all the stuff in my house, I went, Sometimes it's hard to find it, but what I know is the very energy of my heart, of your heart, of our hearts, and of humanity is divine love. We have free will, so we do interesting things, but that divine love is the core of who we are. And we can rest in it, it will hold us. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Let's say that together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you.
When you're standing at the threshold, don't let fear decide how it'll all unfold. Take one step toward what you love, and let that heart of yours, let it rise above, and trust that you'll have everything you need, beyond illusion of security. Love will provide. Pour it out and let it flow back to you. Oh, love will provide. And cast the doubt aside, 'cause love will provide. Don't let worry drag you down. Put the brakes on worn-out thoughts that keep spinning around. Take one step toward inspiration. Let it lift you up into a higher vibration, and know that you have everything you need. 'Cause love is the only true security, and love will provide. Pour it out and let it flow back to you. Oh, love will provide. Cast the doubt aside, 'cause love will provide.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we are going to end with Old Lang Syne. Well, that, and then we'll do a little closing prayer but thank you, Lori and Eric, for sharing this space with us tonight and your beautiful music and the light that you bring. Thank you, thank you. And thank you to Andy and Leah and everyone who's been here doing the live stream and the sound and all of the pieces, and Beth and all of you who have been here working for us on New Year's Eve. That is an act of love. Thank you, thank you. All right. Okay, we've got it here. I just invite you, as you are with humanity the rest of the night and as you move into this new year, to remember the oneness that we are and to know none of us are ever alone. We always have that love.
Yes. So this is our opportunity to sing together this wonderful traditional song. So I invite you, if you'd like, to stand up, and we'll just sing a little of this to take us out of this ceremony, this service, into our new year. We're just going to do this a cappella together. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind, should old acquaintance be forgot and old lang syne, for old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet, for old lang syne, for old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet, for days of old lang syne.
Oh, yes. Happy New Year. We are just, thank you, thank you, thank you. And all of us know that the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Happy New Year. Yes.